Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Russ. I hope that your Lenten observances, whatever form those have taken, have been going well. But we're coming to the end of Lent soon, and that means it's almost time for Holy Week. I am very excited for Holy Week this year. I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about our Holy Week observances this year at St. John's and how those are going to look for us this year. Our Holy Week observance is going to be spread out over the whole week, but it's especially going to happen on 4 days during that week. It'll start on Palm Sunday on the 24th of March, and then continue on the great 3 days of Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday, which are the 28th, 29th, and 30th of March. Our Holy Week service begins on Palm Sunday. Now, Palm Sunday celebrates Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, but that's not all that it's about. That's not the end of the story. Palm Sunday is kind of a snapshot overview of the entirety of Holy Week. During that service, we'll hear the whole Passion story from beginning to end. And then through the rest of Holy Week, we get to zoom in on some specific aspects of the story and explore them in more depth. Our Palm Sunday worship will start with a procession from Cly Hall, where we'll gather and bless the palm branches that we'll carry, from there to the sanctuary. And it continues, as I said, with the reading of the entire Passion Gospel according to St. Mark. Palm Sunday is a powerful and important service, and it's a wonderful start to our Holy Week observances. Those observances continue then a few days later on Maundy Thursday. The word Maundy comes from an Old English word from the Latin root mandatum, which is where we get words like mandate and mandatory. It's related to the word that means commandment. And at the heart of the Maundy Thursday service is Jesus' commandment to his disciples when he says to them, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I've loved you." The Maundy Thursday worship really focuses on and dwells in the Last Supper. In addition to remembering Jesus' institution of Holy Communion, the Maundy Thursday service also includes a space for individual absolution and for foot washing, as we follow Jesus' command to his disciples to wash one another's feet. Now, I have to talk for a minute about foot washing, because I know foot washing can be one of those things. For a lot of people, it can be a really deep and powerful and important thing. For a lot of people, it can be a really deeply uncomfortable and scary thing. And that's okay. I don't want to pressure anybody into doing anything that they are not okay with, whether that's in worship or anywhere else. But that Maundy Thursday foot washing, that sign of service and care that Jesus set out for his followers, can be a really powerful thing. Foot washing, like a lot of things in worship, is something that all may take part in, but none must. It is not by any means mandatory. But I'd encourage you to try it. After the foot washing, after the Holy Communion, after all of those parts of the Last Supper that we remember and re-celebrate on Maundy Thursday, the Maundy Thursday service ends with the stripping of the altar as we prepare for worship on Good Friday. Our Good Friday service at St. John's will center around the Passion of Jesus, but from a completely different perspective. On Palm Sunday, we hear the Passion from Matthew or Mark or Luke, depending on what year of the lectionary cycle it is. And all of those Passion Gospels center around Jesus' suffering and death. St. Mark presents Jesus as dying alone, all of his disciples having fled, and only a few dedicated followers looking on, but only from a distance. The Passion Gospel that we read on Palm Sunday is kind of bleak, honestly, which is kind of the point. Because on Good Friday, we hear the Passion Gospel according to John, and St. John has a whole different perspective on what that passion is and what it means. In John's account, Jesus is in control of events the whole time. The Good Friday service and that Passion Gospel according to St. John shows the Passion for what it truly is, which is the central part of God's plan to bring about the salvation of the world. The Good Friday Passion reading and the Good Friday service is more solemn and more meditative than when we gather to hear the Passion on Palm Sunday. As we gather on Good Friday, we'll gather in a darker, dark-end church, alone with ourselves and with the cross and with God. Our Holy Week service then continues on Holy Saturday with the great vigil of Easter. The Easter Vigil is one of my favorite church services throughout the church year. It's one of my favorite parts of the life of faith. And the Easter Vigil this year is going to be a lot of fun. It's kind of like Christmas Eve, but for Easter. Both Christmas and Easter are such a big, exciting festival and a big, exciting moment in the life of the church that we have to celebrate them and start our celebration. We get to celebrate and get to start that celebration as soon as possible. This year, we're going to be celebrating the Easter Vigil with churches and with Christians from all across the Phoenixville area as we join with other churches from the Phoenixville Area Clergy Association in our celebration. It'll still be here at St. John's. It starts outside in the lawn behind the columbarium around a bonfire as we remember and celebrate that light of Christ coming into the world. We'll hear the story of God's saving acts throughout history. And we'll celebrate both outside and as we continue inside to the church later in the service, as we celebrate in word and song, with fire and water and bread and wine. It's going to be joyous and fun and just a little tiny bit over the top. And of course, then our celebration of Christ's resurrection and of the things that God has done for us continues on Easter Sunday as we gather for 2 different festival worship services and a fellowship breakfast and an exciting and joyful and celebratory time as we gather with our church, with our fellow church members to continue that Easter celebration. There's a lot of different church services this Holy Week, and a lot of different opportunities for us to gather as St. John's Lutheran Church, to remember and celebrate all the things that God has done for us in Christ. I'm looking forward to all of those church services, to all of those celebrations, and I hope that you'll be able to join us for them. May God bless you this remainder of Lent and this Holy Week and this Easter season.